2023 is already shaping up to be a great year for horror. We've got the balls to the wall Megan to look forward to, Scream 6 on the horizon, and a new Paranormal Activity and Saw installments all to come just off the top of my head. In terms of the big franchises then, there is a lot lined up. However, there are more iconic monsters and villains returning in 2023 and beyond than you may initially realize. I'm Josh from WhatCulture.com, and these are 10 horror movie villains you didn't know were returning. Number 10. The Death Angels. With eyesight worse than Grandpa Simpson and hearing as powerful as Daredevil, the Death Angels, or Dark Angels, are the terrifying creatures that haunted the world of A Quiet Place, and are drawn to even the slightest of sounds and will mercilessly kill anyone in their path. Now, it's probably no surprise that A Quiet Place is continuing as a franchise, hence it being so low on this list. I mean, after all, the first two movies were big hits, and so a third flick was a no-brainer. However, you might be surprised at just how much A Quiet Place content we're due to get over the next few years. For one, A Quiet Place Day 1 is set for release on the 8th of March 2024, and will serve as a spin-off from the main series. Based on the title, it will likely explore the very early days of the creature's arrival on Earth, and after the brief glimpse that we got of that time period in the second movie, that could definitely make for a superbly tense film. Even better, it's directed by Michael Sanoski, who was responsible for 2021's excellent Nicolas Cage starring Pig. As for the misfortunes of the Abbott family, those are set to continue in A Quiet Place Part 3 in 2025. Number 9. The Xenomorph. Alien fans have had it a little bit rough over the past few years. Alien Covenant was a solid inclusion in the long-running horror franchise, but after that, the future looked bleak. Neil Blomkamp's promised legacy sequel, Alien 5, was officially canned, while the disappointment of Covenant at the box office wrote off the promise of more movies set in the Prometheus timeline. And then, when the franchise's studio, Fox, was bought by Disney, fans had no idea if they'd even see the series again. But Alien is returning with a brand new TV series on FX. From the mind of Noah Hawley, the creative behind Fargo and Legion, the show is expected to drop in late 2023 and will deliver an Earth-set tale. Apart from the setting, the only other thing we know about the show's story is that it will of course include the iconic Xenomorphs, which, to be fair, is kind of a bare minimum expectation in a series called Alien. Apparently, the executives are passionate about the project, and it has the blessing of Ridley Scott, so while it might not be Alien 5, it might still prove to be a hit with fans. Number 8. Jason Voorhees. The second movie icon to be returning to the small screen rather than the big, it should be noted that the version of Jason Voorhees set to reappear this year won't be the one that fans have grown to love and fear. After spending the last decade in legal hell, the rights to the Friday the 13th series have finally been sorted out, well, for now anyway, and a bunch of new projects have been put into development. The first of these is a prequel TV series simply titled Crystal Lake, of course referring to the notorious source of Camp Counselor deaths and the place where a young Jason himself was tormented and bullied. Last year it was announced that the show, which will be streaming exclusively on Peacock, is in the works with Brian Fuller of Hannibal fame serving as the showrunner. The plot is being kept under wraps for now, but with it being a prequel, you can probably bet that we'll be seeing a younger Jason involved, and most likely a look at a younger Pamela Voorhees as well. It's certainly a strange move, but with Fuller at the helm and A24 of all studios reportedly producing, maybe the show will be something we didn't even know we needed. Number 7. Valik. Also known as the Nun, well, because she looks like a nun, Valik is the mysterious entity haunting Ed and Lorraine Warren in 2016's The Conjuring 2. She is eventually defeated in that movie when Lorraine learns her true name, which is a pretty shoddy weakness all told, but you try telling that to a killer ghost version of Sister Act. The Nun character proved so popular that she got her own spin-off movie just called The Nun in 2018, which detailed her origins and went back in time. And despite that movie kind of being a train wreck, it apparently made enough money that Valik is back in another movie set for a September 2023 release. Bonnie Aarons will once again reprise her role in a story set 4 years after the last prequel, and Scream Queen Taissa Farmiga is also back as Sister Irene. Now, the last movie might not have been any good, but there is still a whole lot of potential with this character, or at least this character design. When you've got this amount of talent behind and in front of the screen, surely the Nun sequel will do exactly what the Annabelle sequel did and actually be way better than the original. Number 6. Toby. The first 3 Paranormal Activity films all follow a relatively simple story arc, following Katie as she deals with a demon who has tormented her since childhood. The third movie acts as a prequel to this story, explaining the origins of Katie and her sister's relationship with the demon Asmodeus, or Toby as they like to call him, and setting in motion the events of the first 2 flicks. After that, it kinda goes a little bit hog wild, and by the time we got to the most recent installment, we were focused on a brand new story. Though in my opinion, Paranormal Activity: The Next of Kin was criminally underrated. That movie kinda rules. But fear not, OG Paranormal Activity fans, because Katie, Toby, and everything else you loved about the first 3 films is coming back. The 8th film in the saga, entitled The Other Side, which I swear was already the subtitle for one of these, but whatever, is coming to Paramount Plus in 2023. When in 2023? Well, no idea, but if I was a betting man, I'd say probably October time. Number 5, the Mogwai. The lovable yet murderous Mogwai haven't had a movie of their own since 1990's Gremlins 2: The New Batch, and that film was, well, it was chaotic, which is kind of very on brand for these creatures, I suppose. But Joe Dante's comedy horror classic might finally be getting its long-awaited 3rd installment in 2023, if reports are to be believed. A 3rd Gremlins picture has been talked about for years, with scriptwriter Chris Columbus giving an interview about it all the way back in 2017. However, the time has seemingly come for Gizmo and his pals to make their comeback, as IMDb has December 2023 down as a potential release for Gremlins 3. And even if that never happens, which to be fair probably won't because anyone can edit IMDb, Mogwai fans will still get their fill. Gremlins: Secrets of the Mogwai is an upcoming animated series that will serve as a prequel to the first 2 Gremlins movies, and its 10 episodes will drop on HBO Max in 2023 and will explain how a young Sam Wing first met Gizmo. So there you have it. One way or another, your Gremlins fix will be satisfied, unless Warner Brothers does a Warner Brothers and just cans it for no reason. Number 4. Death. If we want to get all philosophical and weird about it, then it could be argued that Death has the largest filmography of any character ever. But we won't, because I'll get so sad and existential about my life that I'll end up sat in the dark drinking Guinness with my donkey. However, the most famous film series in which the Grim Reaper takes center stage is coming back. Final Destination's last run came with the 5th film in the franchise, a surprisingly great movie that brought the story full circle right up to the first scene from the original flick. But regardless, us fans have been waiting for something concrete to happen with the series for years now, after being teased about a potential 6th movie by executives. And finally, it seems like things are a go. In 2019, a reboot of the series was announced, and in 2020, it was revealed that the plot would revolve around the world of first responders, which is an intriguing prospect to say the least. COVID then delayed the shooting of the movie, but things seem to be back on track now, and the movie looks set to be released in 2023. Who's in charge of bringing the franchise back then? Well, it's the directors behind 2019's Kim Possible TV movie, Leprechaun Origins, and Dead Rising. Look, I'm not trying to be cynical this year, so I guess I have high hopes for this one. Yeah, high hopes. Where's my donkey gone? Number 3, Pazuzu. In spite of its name, Pazuzu the Demon is one of horror's most important antagonists. As the demon that possessed young Regan McNeil in The Exorcist, Pazuzu is responsible for hundreds of viewers leaving the cinema in disgust during the film's original run. By taking control of the young girl, the entity helped create some of the scariest moments in film history, and the demon's legacy somehow remains intact even in the face of several dodgy Exorcist sequels. But the 3rd one, of course, that absolutely rules. Not deterred by this precedent of bad movies, though, a new Exorcist reboot is in the works. 3 of them, in fact, as we're getting a legacy sequel trilogy from serial horror reworker David Gordon Green. The world of William Peter Blatty hasn't been adapted for the screen since the Exorcist TV show in 2017, which was admittedly pretty decent to be fair, and the last visit on the big screen before that was 2014's painful Dominion prequel to The Exorcist. As we have belabored so far, most of what followed the original film was a lot of demonic doo-doo, but maybe this new version will be the exception. Number 2, Count Dracula, Last Voyage of the Dementor and Renfield. Hey, look at us, it's a double vampire bonus. Since his first appearance in Bram Stoker's 1897 novel, Count Dracula has inspired countless adaptations, knockoffs, and of course, serial mascots. The ultimate vamp is one of horror's go-to baddies, and his name never fails to create intrigue or draw a crowd, even if we usually end up with pure Drac, like Dracula 3000. Still, that popularity might be why 2 separate upcoming movies will be utilizing the Bloodsucker's box office power. The Last Voyage of the Dementor, set for an August 11th, 2023 release, is based on a single chapter from Stoker's book. In it, the crew of the titular ship are haunted by the Count as he makes his journey to Whitby. And that, in my opinion, is a very exciting premise, one that will hopefully make the character scary again after decades of parody. As for the second Dracula movie development though, well, that might just undo all of the first one's hard work. See, Renfield, which literally got a trailer as I was recording this, so sorry that this is now slightly out of date, is an upcoming horror comedy starring Nicholas Hoult as the undead aristocrat's servant. And who will be playing Dracula in this film? Well, none other than Nicolas goddamn Cage himself. So yeah, 2 movies, 2 very different depictions of one of horror's most enduring villains. 2023 should be a very interesting year for vampire diehards, to say the least. Number 1, John Kramer. Although he first appears as a terminal cancer patient, Saw's John Kramer just will not die. Well, I mean, like, he literally did. He got his throat slashed by a buzzsaw, of course, in the 3rd film, but that hasn't stopped the franchise from finding ways to bring the icon back. The original Jigsaw Killer has struck fear into the hearts of millions with his devilish traps, designed to give his victims a new appreciation for life, unless they kill them first. Kramer, of course, served as the main baddie for the first Saw film, although you probably wouldn't know it for most of the movie if you're watching it fresh. He does eventually snuff it at the hands of Jeff in Saw 3, but he somehow managed to appear in every single Saw film since, except Spiral, through various flashbacks and memories. However, just as you might have thought the series was moving away from Jigsaw's legacy and his myriad of secret apprentices, this trend is set to continue with the new Saw movie, which is coming out in October 2023. It was announced that Kramer actor Tobin Bell will be part of the film, although it is currently unclear what part he'll play in the story. Now, Saw would be nothing without its main villain, so it is great to see Bell back. He always gives a great performance, though the writers need to be smart about his return, as we're already 2 Secret Apprentice twists too many, as far as I'm concerned, into this franchise. So that's our list. I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. What do you think about these horror icons returning, and are there any other big returns I've missed off here? Let me know, and while you're down there, if you could, please give us a like, share, subscribe, and head over to What Culture Horror for more lists like this on the regular. Even if you don't though, I've been Josh, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.